thought it'd be kind of cool to start a video series called the 3 blend modes that you need the most. Okay, so it's not going to be a long video series because I'm just going to dedicate 1 video per blend mode, but so there's only going to be 3 videos for this. But the reason why I'm doing it is because I get asked about blend modes a lot. And when you go to blend modes inside of Photoshop, you go to a layer, there's a lot of blend modes inside of here. And for all intents and purposes, honestly, there's not a lot of use to most of them. Okay, so there's like 3, maybe 4 that we pretty much stick with. Okay, everything else is kind of a specialized thing. So I thought I'd go into kind of just a little bit of a deeper dive into what we can do with some of these blend modes. All right, so first off, we're going to start with multiply in this video. Okay, multiply is the first one. If you look at the blend mode list, you'll see it's actually broken up into sections. So you got darken, multiply, color burn, lighten, screen, color dodge, overlay, soft light, difference, hue, saturation. And they actually go in almost an order of usefulness. These first 3 sections are okay. It's the bottom 2 that you're not really going to use too much. So out of the first section, multiply is the one that we're going to use. So here's kind of an odd example. And then we'll just to show what multiply does, and then we'll kind of dive in a little bit more. But when I change this look, it's just this image right here. Okay, this is just a logo that's put on top of one of my photos here. Okay, so, and this happens a lot. A lot of people, you'll get a logo that's just black and white. It's just got black, it's just got white. So you get this image, and people try to go selecting the white to try to remove it so it's just the black or whatnot. Well, if you come over here and you change the blend mode to multiply, if something is white, it's going to be totally gone. It's just going to leave the dark stuff. Okay, and so I can move this anywhere I want. It's going to appear transparent, and that's why blend modes are kind of cool. They're different from opacity, where opacity just fades something into the background, which isn't a bad idea for something like this. We might even fade it more, but still, we got to get rid of the white, right? So that's where blend modes kind of differ. Is they're context sensitive. Basically, over whatever you put them over on top of, it changes the way that they work. All right, so we got multiply there. Let's go into another example of multiply. So if we press Command or Control J and we duplicate our layer and we change the blend mode here to multiply, look at what happens. It darkens the whole entire photo. So it's taking whatever's kind of dark already and it's making it darker. It's taking whatever's bright and it's almost making it go away. Okay, so remember when in our case with the black and white logo, white just went away, but the dark stuff, the black stayed. Well, if there's a dark gray, if you have all these different colors that are inside here, they're just going to kind of get intensified as you look through here. Okay, and you can see multiply, think of it this way, multiply darkens. Whenever you want to darken something, make it deeper, multiply will do that, and it also has the effect of making it look a little bit more saturated in color. So in this example here, I might want to come in here and I might want to add multiply to this, but I might also use a layer mask, take my brush tool, reduce the size of the brush a little bit, and maybe come over here and start to paint with black and start to bring back, and you'd have to be a little bit more, you'd have to use maybe the selection tools over here, but maybe kind of start to bring some of this back, okay, to where you're not changing the whole thing. Okay, same thing over here, because that might have gotten a little bit too dark, so I just bring some of that back. Okay, I don't know if I do it over here because it kind of starts to look washed out. I almost like it there, but that's kind of the idea behind multiply, is just to think of it as it's a darkening blend mode. Okay, let's take a look at another example. Okay, so here is an image that I had. I just downloaded it off of Fotolia.com. I did a search for frames, and so I got this black and white image. Okay, perfect example. Take that, put it over a photo, change it to multiply. Now you've got a frame. Okay, it automatically just gets rid of all of the white for you. You don't have to go in there and select it or anything like that. It gets rid of it for you, and this is what you're left with. And then here's one more example. Okay, remember, whenever you want to darken something, so I press Command or Control J, change it to multiply. Okay, and it kind of deepens everything inside the photo. It tends to make people's skin, I'll tell you this right up front, it tends to make people's skin look red. Okay, it's almost burnt in a way. Think of it because multiply is darkening. So that's where, again, you'd use it. Very rarely do you ever do this, and you don't have to blend something away. So we add the layer mask, we take our brush tool, okay, and we go in here with a black brush, and we can go in there. I'm just kind of going along the edge first. We don't really have to worry about the top because that's already white up top. I'm just kind of going right along the edge here. And then I'll use my right bracket key, make the brush a little bit bigger. And I can go in here and bring that back. So what I've done here is essentially I've deepened the colors of the background. And you can always remember it's a blend mode. It's got a layer. That's how you're using it. It's on a layer. So I can always reduce the opacity if I want to kind of meet halfway, right? Change it to multiply, which is going to darken it, but then meet halfway and change the opacity to maybe 50%. I kind of hacked that up over there. So you'd have to, zoom in and do a little bit of a better job. But essentially, whenever you want to darken something, make it look darker, make it look like almost deeper in color. Okay, because you can see what it did to the greens back here. Think of that as the time where you would turn to multiply. And because you'll very rarely duplicate a layer and change it to multiply and everything looks great, because that very rarely happens, what really makes this powerful is you change it to multiply, you add that layer mask, and now you get the best of both worlds. You're able to deepen and darken some part of a photo, but you're also able to go in here and you're able to kind of smooth things out. Make the areas that you didn't want to affect, leave those alone, and just darken the parts that you did. Okay, so this is our first video on the 3 blend modes that you need most. The next videos to come, we'll go over the other 2. There's kind of 4, but the third video I'll cover 2 of them because they both almost do the same thing. Okay, thanks for watching, folks. I'll talk to you again soon.